When you think of Marvel Comics, chances are you instantly think of Stan Lee and his characters. Sadly, as you might have heard, Stan passed away recently at the age of 95. His millions of fans will miss him greatly. For many, Lee will live on forever with the characters he created. What better way to honor him than by remembering the characters we'll never forget? While Lee is known for being the grandfather of superheroes, it wasn't always that way. As a teenager, he started working for Timely Publications as a gopher. Eventually, he worked his way into writing for their comics. From those humble beginnings, he revolutionized the comic book industry in the 1960s and created a foundation for other comic book writers and artists to build upon. Many of his characters have become pop culture icons, branching out into toys, video games, cartoons, and live-action films. Lee's ability to create realistic, relatable characters with weaknesses and flaws proved his most powerful strength. Though they had extraordinary powers, they were people just like all of us, which made them even more real and beloved. Over the years, he's created hundreds of superheroes and supervillains. As bestest man, anyone? But of course, only a handful we'll never forget. I'm Mike with List 25, and we'll miss you, Stan Lee. Thank you for everything. Excelsior.
$14.
Fantastic Four. Introduced in November 1961, the Fantastic Four #1 issue, these titular heroes became some of Stan Lee's most read and beloved of all time. Including Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Thing, and the Human Torch, these four heroes obtained their powers through cosmic rays and teamed up to fight Dr. Doom, among many other villains. With their increased popularity, their stories went beyond the comic book page and to the television and silver screen. My cousin actually was a casting director for the first Fantastic Four movie.
13.
Doctor Strange. Dr. Stephen Vincent Strange was created and illustrated by Steve Ditko, but scripted by Stan Lee. He first appeared in Strange Tales #110 in 1963. It's said Lee based the character off of the Chandu the Magician radio program back in the 1930s. His psychedelic sorcery instantly set him apart from the heroes who had science-based origin stories, but it was also the very bizarre, transcendental stories that made him memorable and unique. During the early publication of the comics, many wondered if the Marvel writers were potheads because the strange places the stories would go. Since his inception, he has become a prominent character, interweaving in and out of several other comics, television shows, and of course, eventually having his own film in 2016.
12.
J. Jonah Jameson. This crotchety chief editor of the Daily Bugle first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man #1, and has always been against Spider-Man, calling him a costume freak and public menace. Though he wrote articles turning the public against the web-slinging hero, Spider-Man always found a way to thwart and embarrass the hot-headed journalist. Funny enough, it said Jameson was inspired by Stan Lee on how his readers might perceive him. The first panel he appears in shows Jameson hunched over a typewriter, frantically typing. Speaking of which, Tristan, why are you here filming instead of getting me pictures of Spider-Man? Get out there!
11.
Ant-Man. Hank Pym. This scientific genius was created by Stan Lee and co-created and drawn by Jack Kirby. His alter ego, of course, is Ant-Man, a superhero who can change his size. Hank Pym first appeared in the Tales of Astonish issue 27, which was released in 1962, but he didn't appear as Ant-Man until issue 35. In the Marvel Comics, he's a gigantic figure who was a founding member of the Avengers and creator of the villainous Ultron. And, contrary to popular belief, not an Ant-Man costume. This is Star-Lord. It's not Ant-Man. Star-Lord, man.
It's Scary Man.
It's not Scary Man either.
10.
Black Widow. Created by Stan Lee, Don Rico, and Don Heck, this deadly assassin first appeared in Tales of Suspense #52. Originally a KGB agent, she helped and fought many of Marvel's mightiest heroes, including Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Iron Man. Of course, she later joined S.H.I.E.L.D. as a double agent, and then the Avengers. Though she doesn't have any super abilities, she was one of the best agents S.H.I.E.L.D. ever had.
9.
Nick Fury. Created to be a World War II character in the comic issue of Sergeant Fury, 2 years later, Lee updated the character to be in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Strange Tales. A strategic mastermind and natural-born leader, Fury forges alliances with the Avengers and Captain America to fight the world's worst villains. His character is weaved in and out of various comics over the years, becoming prominent on the War Against Evil. He first made an appearance on the television in David Hasselhoff's failed Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, but more recognized him in Samuel L. Jackson's performance throughout the many Marvel Cinematic Universe films.
8.
Magneto. First created by Stan Lee in 1963 to be the metal-manipulating mutant antagonist in the first XMen issue to fight against the titular team, Stan Lee later admitted he never thought of Magneto as a villain, but a man fighting back against bigotry and racism, trying to defend his fellow mutants. He also originally planned to have him be Professor X's brother rather than an old friend. Either way, he's since become one of the most well-known Marvel villains, heavily featured in the comics, cartoons, and films.
7.
Black Panther. First appearing in the Fantastic Four issue number 52 in 1966, this wealthy, intelligent, and super powerful hero is named T'Challa, king of the technology-advanced nation of Wakanda. In this first issue, Stan Lee wrote a story of how T'Challa invited the Fantastic Four to Wakanda and individually neutralized them with his superhero abilities, testing them to see if they'd be valuable allies against his nemesis, Claw. Since that first issue, he's become a massive superhero character and played prominent roles in several other superhero comics like X-Men and the Avengers.
6.
Daredevil. This crime-fighting hero of Hell's Kitchen first appeared in the Daredevil #1 issue. Go figure. Originally, his costume was yellow and red, but it was totally redesigned in issue 7 to the red costume he's known for today. Stan Lee imagined him as a kind of scarlet swashbuckler who was also an impressive gymnast and boxer. However, much of his backstory and origins were altered and changed as the comic progressed.
5.
Dr. Doom. Often considered Stan Lee's favorite villain, Dr. Doom first appeared in Fantastic Four Volume 1, Issue 5 in 1962. He initially fought against the Fantastic Four, but later became a villain for many of Earth's mightiest heroes. The length and breadth of his powers are almost unlimited, and he proves time and time again to be a formidable foe. Outside of comics, he's made appearances in many cartoons, video games, and live-action films.
4.
Hulk. Both Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created the Hulk, and he first appeared in The Incredible Hulk #1 issue. His character was inspired by the stories of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, as well as Frankenstein. Lee wanted Hulk to have gray skin initially, but that turned out problematic for the printers, so they switched it to the green skin he's known for today. With a massive line of comics and comic appearances, a popular TV show, and several movies, the Hulk is one of Lee's most recognizable and popular superheroes. And you wouldn't like him when he's angry.
3.
Iron Man. Making his first appearance in Tales of Suspense number 39, Tony Stark, / Iron Man, was the creation of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. His character was loosely based on the life of Howard Hughes, and his early character fought against the communists, championing risk and hard work. Iron Man quickly became a pillar of the Marvel Comics mythos and branched out into cartoons and live-action films. The live-action film starring Robert Downey Jr., of course, thrust him into a whole new level of popularity.
2.
X-Men. Out of the desire to create a team of superheroes, but not explain their origins, Lee stated he took the easy way out and said they were all mutants. Indeed, even the original title for the comic was The Mutants, but that was shelved when they realized their readers wouldn't know what a mutant was. The original members of the team were Beast, Angel, Cyclops, Iceman, and Marvel Girl, Jean Grey. The popular comic changed and added team members as it progressed, eventually becoming a massive sensation, a popular cartoon, video game, and film series.
1.
SpiderMan. Without a doubt, Spider-Man is, and always will be, Stan Lee's most popular, iconic, and amazing superhero. With increasing demands from teenagers for comic books, he wanted to create a character that teens could relate to, and came up with the spider idea after watching a spider crawl up a wall. The character was first introduced into the Amazing Fantasy issue number 15 as a timid and shy high schooler, making him stand apart from the adult superheroes of the time. Since then, he's become Marvel's most popular superhero, branching out into toys, video games, cartoons, and live-action films. So, who's your favorite Stan Lee created character? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet your answer to us at List25. Now, you might have noticed there were only 14 numbers on this list. We're doing a little experimenting here at List25, and we actually hope you'll join us in our future endeavors, and we hope you like it. So, here's to the future.
Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button on the bottom right and the notification bell so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these videos here or just head to our website at list25.com.